The U.S. Federal Reserve has kept interest rates unchanged while warning of higher inflation driven by rising energy prices. Now, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the economic impact of the U.S.-Israel war with Iran remains highly uncertain, noting that outcomes could vary. Now, the U.S. Central Bank held its benchmark rate steady in the 3.5 to 3.75% range while projecting steady unemployment and highlighting a possible single rate cut later this year. Jerome Powell emphasized that it is still too early to assess the full economic fallout, particularly as oil prices remain volatile. Let's listen in to the Fed chair.
The implications of developments in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain. We will remain attentive to risks to both sides of our dual mandate. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75%. From last September through December, we lowered our policy rate 0.75 of a percentage point, bringing it within a range of plausible estimates of neutral. This normalization of our policy stance should continue to help stabilize the labor market while allowing inflation to resume its downward trend toward 2%. But the implications of events in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain. In the near term, higher energy prices will push up overall inflation, but it is too soon to know the scope and duration of the potential effects on the economy.
The Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's statement where he said he will stick around as head of the U.S. Central Bank until his successor is confirmed and will not leave the institution until a criminal investigation into the Fed is resolved. Remember, U.S. President Donald Trump had nominated former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh to succeed Powell, but Warsh has yet to be confirmed into the role by the Senate. Listen in.
If my successor is not confirmed by the end of my term as chair, I would serve as chair pro tem until he is confirmed. That is what the law calls for. That's what we've done on several occasions, including involving me, and it's what we're going to do in this situation. And while I'm at it, on the question whether I will leave while the investigation is ongoing, I have no intention of leaving the board until the investigation is well and truly over, with transparency and finality, and I would refer you to the statement that was in the Fed's brief that you all have seen, and I won't have anything more for you on that. On the question of whether I will then continue to serve as a governor after my term ends and after the investigation is over, I have not made that decision yet, and I will make that decision based on what I think is best for the institution and for the people we serve. Figuring you probably were going to set the dominoes off there, Edward.